Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday and it's 6:30. So that means it's time for another Tuesdays in the Shop. I'm Yvette.
I'm Andrea. Can you,
Something funny with yeah. Sorry. What did you
can you
say?
hear me? I'm Andrea.
Good. And we're Gotham Quilts together. I am actually coming to you from Georgia because I am on a business trip, secret business trip. Don't ask what it's for. But Andrea's back home in our home base. And yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. How many boxes showed up?
Oh God, I don't even know. A lot.
Like 16 or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And what was in one set of those boxes?
Take a guess, everybody.
Tula
Roar!
Pink Roar collection. We've been teasing you about this for months now, right? And taking pre-orders, and we've sold out of the kit. There's a limited edition kit that comes with this group. You all already claimed all of those. They will start shipping tomorrow, Andrea?
Hopefully.
Right. So if you pre-ordered those, keep an eye on your inbox. You're going to get an email with tracking information soon. If you pre-ordered yardage, not yardage, bundles or backings or any of the other things, we have charm packs, we have design rolls. All of that is now in stock and will start shipping. And as always, we always ship pre-orders before we open up regular orders, right? So if you look on the website now, you'll see all the inventory that we have left after the pre-orders that we've already bought. And there's a good selection there. So if you were holding out till they showed up, you still have a really nice options.
Yeah, the only thing we're sold out of so far is the Big Bang kit.
The kit, yeah.
But we also came up with our own kit, the Little Roar kit, which is just for a 40-inch baby quilt. Actually, I have the pattern here. So using the amazing border stripe that I'm totally in love with. So basically just cutting triangles of this and sewing them into a square. So you get the border around the outside edge of the square. It's going to be really quick make. You're sewing 3 seams, and then you're ready to do your basting and your binding and all that. So that's a really easy one, perfect for any child or even adult dinosaur lover.
Can you show how that is a double border?
Yes, I can.
So
well, you can see it right here, actually.
Yeah,
I'll just get out of the way. So there's the double border with the dinosaurs on the top and the bottom, and then in the middle is like a star field. This print is actually called Meteor Shower, so I think these dots are little meteors, and then there's stars. So you can see it a little bit better here, and the actual dinosaurs there. I really like, the little Nessie in the ocean and the Diplodocus, I believe those might be. I don't know. They changed all the names since we were kids. Right. Well, maybe not changed, but added to the 3 dinosaurs there were when we were kids.
So apparently she was going to name this print like Extinction or something originally, and then went with Meteor Shower because it sounded less cryptic.
Yeah, I could see how, Extinction, it's a little negative.
Not so pleasant of an idea, right?
Right. But yeah, so this is my favorite, the border print.
You like it in the pink or you like it in the gray?
I think I gotta go with the pink, and I'm not a pink person.
No, you're not a pink person.
I do love the pink and orange. I love that as a combination. So this is the pink one, as you can see, and then the other colorway is the pink one is called Blush. This one is called Storm, and this one is
like a charcoal, right?
It's a charcoal, but it's got like a green cast to it.
Okay.
This is more.
I love that. That's my favorite. This color.
That's so funny that we're exactly the opposite, because this is more my jam, as you can see.
That's
here.
True.
And Yvette is very much more pink, but something, I don't know. I mean, I do like this one too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
With the aqua.
So real quick, let's talk about the fact that this is a double border. If you aren't familiar with that term, what that means is that at the selvage edge, there is a design that's printed that's meant to be used long way, right? Like around the outside of a border. You could use it for a skirt. There's so many different ways that you can sorry, I got ahead of myself. The reason it's called the double border is because both sides have the same design. If only one side had a border, it would just be a border print. A double border print has at the selvage on both sides the same design. So you have like a mirror image, like
Yeah.
up down version of the things. If you
Yeah.
cut this into strips, you'd end up with like almost like 3 sections of fabric. The middle section and then the two
Yeah.
border parts. So
It's not a mirror image though. It's just rotated.
It's
Yes.
right. Yeah, it's the Oh, that's interesting. So she didn't do this. She did this. Okay. Is that good or bad for the little roar?
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Sometimes I get a little too obsessed with
Yeah.
minute details. Why was I telling you that? Oh, okay. So Tula has never done a double border before. So for those of you who are Tula freaks like I am, and I mean freak in the best way possible, of course, this is a collectible just because of that reason, because she's never done a double border before. We also are trying to get her to do panels because it's been like years and years of people being like, instead of giving us yardage with giant faces on top of it, please just give us panels so we won't be slicing through people's faces, right? I feel like she's getting closer to doing a panel with like a big scale thing. Tula, if you're listening, we would like panels next time when you have a very large scale face so we don't have to cut through them. But I'm excited. This is a stretch for her, and she's been designing fabric for what, like 15 years? It's pretty cool to see her do something she hasn't been doing. Oh, right, because if we've been in business for exactly.
Yeah. So she's been doing it for much longer than that. I don't know why I put this one on the bottom. Ugh. So speaking of faces, we also have the T-Rex face here. So kind of a little.
I like that shade of pink better. The T-Rex.
So I don't know if that you can see a little bit better there.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
This is like fussy cutting dream.
Oh yeah. And she is aware of that. So, putting the vases on the side so that when you cut around the face, you'll still get, you're not cutting through another nice motif.
Right. She's giving you like
really
a negative space resting zone so that you can cut.
Yeah. But it's also still interesting so that if you did want to use a big piece of it, you don't have like a blank spot right there. But yeah, that nice little vase there with this geometric pattern on it that is echoed in some of the other prints, like this one. So this nice.
Oh, that's such a usable blender.
Yeah, this one is super usable. So this is gray. I originally thought it was that dark green, and actually it probably is the same. Probably the same. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a green, but it's gray. It's a very pale gray background, and then the lines on the diagonal are a darker gray, like a charcoal gray. So this one, and then rainbow. So this is definitely usable for all kinds of things.
That one looks like pillowcases to me. Like if you were going to make a quilt with coordinating pillowcases, this would be your pillowcase fabric.
We also have this one, which is just really fun. Let's see if I can get a little closer there for you. So this
are they little
rainbow, but yeah, little crosses, X and crosses, in this nice rainbow pattern. And this one is on a pink background, but there's also one on a whiter background. So that's a fun one. What is this one called?
Makes me think of Rainbow Bright. Lights. Remember Rainbow Bright from the 80s?
Yes. Yes, I very much
remember. Makes me think of Rainbow Bright.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Gift Wrapped is another. This one has raptors. This one is the
flesh. And this is a variation on a what's the right way to say?
Damask.
Yeah, I can never say damask right the first time. And this is a thing Tula has been doing for years and years, is making sort of hyper modern takes on a very traditional style print. Often they are only 2 colors, which is rare for her. And they also are awesome for fussy cutting. A lot of times the designs will work upside down or right side up. and you can, so this one has more color in it, which is also really cool to have them be so different. I love that the two dinosaurs, the ones on that are together, that they're mirror image.
Yes.
So depending on what you're doing, like if you're doing like a Lapis EPP quilt, you can often use that mirror image to add to your secondary designs.
Yes, and then there's another one. So you've got the two main ones here, and then there's this other little guy over here, which is like, don't forget
but he doesn't have a mirror image, right? He just faces
no, not that I can tell.
No. But I like that his mouth is open and the mouth on the other ones is closed, so you could like alternate that way too.
Yeah, they all go in the same direction. But yeah, so that's gift wrapped, and then the pterodactyl one. So this
remember Raina's cat's name is Pterodactyl?
Who?
Raina's cat's name is Pterodactyl. Right. Raina, if you're watching, this fabric is for your cat.
So this one is called Wing It. And the pterodactyls are not super obvious. They are down here. So there's the head.
Oh, right. There's its head. Yeah.
So they do blend in a little bit with the flowers, but they are there.
This would be a fun fabric to like prank someone with, because it looks like a floral, right? So like you give them this, I don't know, a pillowcase or something with it, and then they're like, wait, there's a dinosaur in here? It would be a good one.
And this I thought was a purple background. It's actually a light gray. So it matches Tula's putty. So if you're familiar with her solids, this one, the background of this one matches putty. But it still has like a purple kind of cast. So if you're not like actually looking at it, I would still think it was purple. I had to double check when I put it next to the bolt of putty. Like, really? That's not purple? It's not. Oh, and then we have...
Did that pterodactyl one come in another color?
Yes, it comes in. I didn't bring them all over because there's 20 of them. So I just brought the highlights. Okay. This one is a triceratops.
Oh, that's the stripe. Yeah.
Trifecta. So this is another stripe. And this one, it is all going in the same direction. So that would have been nice if like one stripe was going one way and the next stripe was going the other. But they all go in the same direction. But that's okay.
So it's still pretty. I think of all the prints in this group, this one is probably going to be the most confusing for people to use. She designed this so that you can do either a border on a quilt, or you can cut those pieces into squares and sort of like fussy cut on that section. So if you're having a tough time thinking about how you could use this, picture it either in a long strip where you're fussy cutting out each of those strips, or cutting it down into a smaller piece. And then it's almost like two fabrics, because you have the background color and then you have those ribbony print part, right?
But yeah, the stripe goes parallel to the selvage. So if you were to get, a 3-yard cut, you'll have 108 inches of uninterrupted border. So all kinds of
And then you could get real fancy and do mitered corners.
Absolutely, you could. So this is in the other colorway. I like this one. I like these triceratops. So those are the highlights.
I like that colorway better. In those two, I like that one better, don't you?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
No, you're right. The color here is not looking as good as I feel like it used to. But my situation, I didn't change the lighting.
Well, but the fabrics are different than the last time, right? So they have, and like your shirt color is different, and
Yes, the constant challenge is trying to keep colors consistent to show you the most accurate colors possible. But it depends on so many things that it's really difficult.
Yeah. Is that every print?
No, that's not all the prints.
Oh, okay.
I did, like I said, there's so many, I didn't bring them all over. But I brought a couple of her true colors to show you how well they coordinate. So I have a couple of those here. And the one that I really like is this Tiny Dots in Peachy, and how well it goes with some of the blush. So that one, it goes really well. Oh, I didn't show you this one either. So this is the other colorway of the Tyrannosaurus Rex print.
That
And
one has like almost a vintage vibe with those
yeah.
colors.
And that one goes really good with, here's some other tiny stripes. I mean, they are trying to hold too many things. So here's, this is tricky.
You know, you only have 2 arms, Andrea.
I know, and I can't do it. So those, yeah, well.
Imagine if you were a T-Rex, it'd be even harder.
Yes, it would.
Tiny arms.
So I think you probably got the idea there, since I'm dropping things on my computer keyboard at this point. I should probably try not to.
Yeah, you're going to end up hanging up the call.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then a lot of them work over here too. So this one is actually perfect. This tiny stripe, it has both the background and the print color are like perfect matches.
It's almost like she planned it that way.
I know, right?
Andrea, so could you click the button so that we get the QR code on the screen?
Oh yeah, good idea. Let's do that.
So we're going to put it on the screen. If you'd like to shop the collection, you can scan the QR code and you'll be taken to the page on our website that has all the options. For the first time that I can remember, we also made a coordinating print bundle to go with these. And by we, I mean Andrea. She went and picked out the ones that really accentuated the fabrics. And there are 2 bundles, one to coordinate with the kind of like green colorway and one to coordinate with the kind of pink and orange colorway. You could buy both of the coordinating bundles if you're buying the full collection, or if maybe you only like the pinks, or maybe you only like the grays. It's a really handy to get that fat quarter bundle coordinate to round out what you're doing, especially because the fabrics are so specific, right? Like in order to make them sing and like be visible, you do need a little bit of negative space between them so that the designs will stick out and will be recognizable.
Give you a place to rest your eye. Yep. But yeah, because Tula is, she's provided these coordinates for us with her True Colors collections, and they work really well. And there's a lot of overlap between the blush, which is the pink, and the mist/storm, which is the green. Obviously they share a lot of colors, but I tried to keep the 2 coordinate bundles different. But if you take a look at them, you'll see that a lot of the fabrics would work with either one, or both.
And we did also, again, not we, Andrea, also went and picked out coordinating solids, and we've added them to all the products. So when, here, I'll click on one of the products to let you know what it looks like. For example, this is the full collection bundle, which we're offering in fat quarter, half yard, and full yard lengths. And see where it says coordinate fabrics? This is all the options that you have that coordinate with these, with this collection. So these are all the individual solids that coordinate, and then these are the print coordinating bundles that coordinate. So we've added them real easily for you. When you're on the product page, you can just check off the one you'd like, and maybe you want a yard of this, or maybe you want 2 yards of this, and then when you click on add to cart, it'll add everything to your cart.
Yeah, we've been trying really hard to work on the website and make it easier for people to know what fabrics go together. Since you can't see them in person, that's my job, to actually pull all the bolts of fabric out, put them together, see how well they go or don't go, and then let you know, so that when you're looking for that border or the cornerstones or whatever you need, you'll know that Aegean is actually going to match this fabric.
Yeah, and I know when I shop online, I'm always so nervous about picking something that goes with something else. And for those of you who've been watching for a while, you know that we recently added the full line of Art Gallery solids and the full line of Riley Blake solids, and color cards for those 2 collections.
Yes.
In the case of these fabrics, we've coordinated them with the Tula Pink solids, which unfortunately they don't offer a color card for. But if you want to order the color cards for the other 2 collections that we carry, then you'll know exactly what color you're ordering when you place your order online.
Yes, and we are still carrying the full line of Tula Pink solids from Free Spirit. like Yvette said, they don't offer a color card, unfortunately. But in general, I mean, Tula has done a lot of the matching there for you. But, some match better than others. Sometimes she doesn't use marigold, for instance. There's no yellow in I said that too soon. There's a little bit of yellow in some of these.
Yeah.
But in general, I wouldn't put marigold with these, even though that is one of her solid colors. So that way, we've narrowed it down for you a little bit to try to help make that process easier and let you know what you're going to get. So it's not a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want me to show any of the other products on the screen, Andrew?
We could show the different colorway bundles. So we have the full collection bundles, as well as a blush bundle and a mist. I think I just called it mist.
So these are all the fabrics that go in the 11-piece, pink bundle, right?
Pink and pink green.
And if you order a fat quarter size, then you're going to get only one side of the stripe, right? Because Correct. It's a double border. So we're cutting it down the middle. That means you get a bunch of the background and then one stripe dinosaur section.
So you will get 18 inches of border with a fat quarter. But if you need more than that, make sure you get a bigger bundle or buy yardage.
Yep. And then here's the 11-piece kind of green bundle, although it's quite pink also.
Yeah, it does have a lot of pink and obviously a lot of purple in it as well. So so I pulled a lot of, and the Aegean, the aqua color. So the aqua carries throughout. The pink does too, really. So those will be in both bundles.
Well, I was going to look at them next to each other. Yeah, one thing that really sticks out to me about this collection in terms of like Tula land is that there's a lot more like whitish background on this.
It is usually it does read a little bit lighter. In person, I'm not sure that's true.
Oh, really?
When you look at it like that, I think they do. Yeah. In person, I think it's typical bright saturated Tula.
Yeah. I was going to say that until a few years ago, I had never seen her have any fabric have like a white or putty background. And then she started putting a couple prints in like that. And I remember the first one that she like announced, I was like, whoa, Tula's using white. And like these are not actually white, right? They're either like a putty color or like a light pink or whatever.
This one does, this gift wrap. This one actually does have a white background.
That one actually is white.
Or like a cream, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or off-white, but it's very.
Do you want to turn off the screen share one?
Yeah.
Just because then your screen will be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, there we go. Should we put the?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see the progression of an artist who's been making fabric for so long, and maybe some people here are not as familiar with Tula, but she's really a quilter, which for me is what differentiates her from all the other fabric designers on the market. Almost every other fabric designer is a surface designer, meaning they, draw the thing and then, so they draw the thing and then they license it for various uses, like notebook covers and like zipper bags and I don't know, whatever it is, right? Tula started as a quilter and then started designing fabric. Her mom used to own a quilt store, and Tula worked in that quilt store as a kid, right? She actually sews, she actually makes quilts, and the way she designs fabric, she's thinking about how you're going to use it. She's thinking about the fact that we quilters chop it up in little pieces and then put it back together again, right?
And you need a variety of scale and all of those things that not every fabric designer thinks about. She actually does, which is great.
Yeah. So if you see pieces of her fabric cut apart, they'll have every color in every piece, mostly, which is really handy, right? Some fabrics that you get, if you cut, 4 sets of 4-inch squares, half of them look like they came from one print and the other half came from the other print. She does a really good job at that. So it makes our lives easier as quilters to use her fabric.
And
I appreciate that.
The way she's tied together a lot of her colors. So this collection is going to go with a lot of prints from her previous collections. Yeah. I love that she does that. I don't know of any other designer that does that.
Yeah.
which
I guess
is
kind of Alison Glass maybe does that a little bit. Like she has this
she
like
does have
palette,
kind of yeah, she has a
right?
her sort of palette. That's true. They probably do work together pretty well. So I get yeah, there are other designers.
But it's in general, that's not true. In
Right.
general, one
It's
collection
not the
has nothing
norm.
to do with the next collection. And in Tula's world, it's like it's as if in Tula's world she only has a certain set of colors, so
Kind
she
of.
only uses those over and over again. And she
Right.
does it on purpose. Like if you've watched her video, she talks about how she's picked a selection of colors and she purposely works backwards so that you can use some of her older prints with the newest thing that came out, which makes collecting it even more fun.
Exactly. Exactly. One of the things we didn't show is the jacket that Tula made with
Oh yeah,
the meteor shower
picture.
print because it is amazing.
Let me find that one.
She got like a bomber jacket pattern, and I think we saw her. I think it was at Market. No, it wasn't. I don't remember where
She
we saw
wore
her.
it at Market, but we weren't there. I took a
Oh, right.
screenshot
Okay.
from her social media. Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, but it's so cool.
And it actually really shows the scale of
Yeah.
the border, right?
And this, I think it would be great as a skirt too. I'm imagining, the dinosaurs running around the bottom of the skirt. If there's like a
Oh my
science
God, you should make
teacher,
one for Hazel.
I should. She would love it.
It would be
But
so
like, if
cute.
you know any teachers, like science teachers, that
Oh
might be
yeah,
something really fun for them, or an apron. Make a great apron. All kinds of. I can think of all kinds of things to
it's like a
do.
Mrs. Fizzle kind of a
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
like a look. Yeah. Okay, here's the jacket if you want to
Oh,
share
here,
that
let me.
screen.
Yeah,
I can't make it fit, unfortunately. But yeah, how cool
but
is
yeah,
that jacket?
it came out so good.
And also just like having the idea to make a bomber jacket out of this, right?
Yeah,
Like it's a dinosaur bomber jacket. Who would have
yeah.
even thought to do that?
I do think that's awesome. I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I won't, but I'll tell
Yeah, and all
myself
your
I
free
will.
time.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
All that free time I have for sewing clothing. Um,
All
do you
right.
guys have
Andrea,
any? Yes. What?
can you put the QR code back up
Yes.
and then we can take the
I think I
Ooh,
can.
I didn't even think we could do this sort of layout. That's fun.
Finding out all kinds of stuff now that I'm driving and don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. I
Hey,
was
there we
hoping
go.
that would make a quadrant, but it didn't. What'll this do?
Yeah, her head is cut off. So yeah.
Yeah, not as good.
So anyway, we have all these fabrics in stock and ready to ship. If you feel like we didn't cover something about them, feel free to pop it into the chat and we will do our best to either show you a close up or give you more colors that it goes with or whatever it is. Also, if you think of a question after the video ends, you can always email us. Our email address is info@gothamquilts.com and we monitor them inbox all day and we'll reply right back to you. We can take pictures. We can put another fabric with it, whatever you need to make your decision.
Yeah, if you want to see because we still have some of the Besties collection. I think we're out of Everglow at this point, but we do still have some Besties, and I think that's it for Tula. But if you want to see what a Besties and a Roar look like together, just let us know, and I'm happy to do that stuff for people.
Have you tried looking at whether any of the neon tree colors work with this
Some
group?
of them do. One of the binding for the little Roar pattern
Okay.
is actually one of the neons. Yeah, because the dark stripe matches the background like perfectly.
Cool.
And then the pink one is another tent stripe. I don't have a picture of that one, but it's a tent stripe. Also,
that was popular.
I love a striped binding. I can't help.
Who doesn't love a stripe binding, right?
I know, they're amazing. So I had to do that.
Yeah. I feel like if we could pick a stripe binding for every quilt, we probably would.
I think I would, yes.
Yeah. And for everyone thinking that, that means I'm going to make a bias binding, we generally don't. We generally cut it straight and then the stripes go this way, right? And it still looks awesome.
Yeah, I hate making bias binding.
Yeah, Andrea in particular resents the idea of bias binding.
But I hate making it.
It does give you a barber pole effect if you cut a stripe in the bias. So that could be cool. But if you also hate making bias binding, don't worry about it. You just cut it straight. It still looks great.
Right. A lot of people have the preconceived notion that bindings have to be cut on the bias, but they do not. The only reason you would have to cut on the bias is if you have a curve. So the bias will go around curves a lot easier. But most of us don't have curved edges on our quilts. So if you're just doing a straight quilt with corners, no need for bias binding.
Yeah. We almost never do bias ourselves.
I am still working on binding the one quilt I've made.
The one that had the scallop?
Yeah, it was a double wedding ring, and I don't know how long I've been working on that thing.
You just have to hand stitch the back now?
Yes.
Oh.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's just that. Getting those little corners is not easy, though. Yeah. That's a little bit tricky. But yeah, I need to get back on that, get that done.
Maybe we can do like a tutorial on doing that concept at some point, because I'm sure other people would struggle with that.
Probably. I'm not sure I would be the best person to do it. I still haven't mastered it, but I have several of them to go. So by the time I finish,
there you go. By the end. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We are really excited to have Roar in-house. Finally, we've been expecting this one. I'm going to be doing some English paper piecing, fussy cutting with some of them. Who knows? We might even design something else.
Yeah, I might have to play with these borders a little bit more.
Yeah. Sometimes what happens is like we pre-design stuff, like we pre-designed the Little Roar kit based on what we saw digitally. But sometimes the fabric shows up and it gives you an idea when you see it all together and like mixed up with each other. And then it's like, oh, we got to do this too.
Right.
One of the things that I just thought of, Andrea, is I wonder if it would fit in the charming pattern.
I bet it would. I thought about that and then I forgot. It would be perfect for charming. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We might have more options for you.
Yeah, that would be an easy one. I can do that. So yeah, stay tuned for charming.
Yep.
And then next week we have another awesome collection to show you. So and that
something else new showed up.
Yeah, we'll have some fun stuff for that one too.
Like when it rains, it pours. They all come at the same time.
Yeah, I have a nice big kind of foyer area here, and it was just all full of boxes. Yeah. So I did get most of them unpacked, but yeah.
Oh, Alicia's saying she loves this line. Yay. Andrew, we do have some housekeeping, right?
That's true.
That we're going to have a shipping hiatus.
Yes, between April 30th and May 6th, I believe. We will not be shipping orders. I am going to be in Chicago at a fabric show. So no one will be here to ship those orders. So we have a note up on the website, but we just want to give you a heads up. So if there's something you need, make sure to get your orders in plenty of time so that they can ship before the 30th.
And if you are going to H&H Americas or you know someone who's going, Andrea and Jen will be there. So come say hi.
Send us a message. We can meet up somewhere. I've never been to this one before. This is a relatively new show.
I have a feeling it'll be very similar to Market.
I have a feeling as well. But yeah, I'm excited to go. I haven't been to Chicago in forever. So that should be fun. See some new stuff to get excited about that we can then come back and tell you about.
Yeah, I bet. And like the samples and talking to designers and talking to we get so inspired when we go to these shows.
Yeah, and we haven't been to Market since 2019. So it's been a while. And I'm ready to get some inspiration and see some new stuff and talk to designers and all of that good stuff.
And see what kind of colors are coming. It's like
I miss that about Market.
Yeah, I miss that about pre-pandemic world.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to try to get back into it. And you guys should jump on the website. We've got the QR code up, so you can go straight to the website. Check out Roar. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be happy to help. And I think that's it for this.
I think that's it for today. Stay tuned for next week. We got more new stuff coming and new patterns coming and cool stuff. You do not want to miss next week.
No, and there might be another return of Roar just a little bit now that we have
a little like pop of Roar next week.
Yeah, it might turn up. Just stay tuned.
Cool. All right. Thanks for joining us. We will be back next week on Tuesday at 6:30, like we always are. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.